Joining me now is Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, it's great to see you. We so appreciate you joining us. What is your response to the president saying, get rid of the filibuster and reopen government?
Well, good morning, Maria. I never really ever seriously considered ending the filibuster until this very, very last week. There's no doubt ending the filibuster allows us to open the government. It allows us to plow through President Trump's agenda, a whole lot of great things. And the biggest argument to get rid of it is that, look, the Democrats are going to do it anyway. The next time the Democrats are controlling the Senate, they're going to do it anyway. But we got to be careful what we wish for here. If we do this, the next time the Democrats are in power and they control all three levers, they're going to, nuke the Supreme Court. They're going to pack the Supreme Court. They're going to make Puerto Rico the District of Columbia state. They're going to give us Medicaid for all. So this will be a hot debate right now. To me, it's not clear, but I'm very willing to have this debate now.
Wow. Well, I mean, the fact that we're on day 31 and we are now actually seeing impact to the broader economy. I mean, Vice President J.D. Vance and Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy are warning of a travel disaster the longer the doors stay closed. We are looking at air traffic control and TSA agents working without pay. Some of them have just started to call in sick. They don't want to work without pay, but they also can't work without pay. They need to find another income. So they have to take off the job that's not paying them. Doesn't this lead to an economic problem down the road, a bigger economic problem than we expected now that we're on day 31?
Well, Maria, certainly we are starting to feel this. We are at an inflection point. The air traffic control folks, the TSA, they missed their second paycheck now. We had about a 2-hour delay. All the flights were delayed 2 hours yesterday out of DCA. When the transportation system is not working right, it certainly does have a huge impact on the economy as well. So, we don't miss the government until we miss them. We're just about there where really things are not going very well. I think it is time for the Democrats to come across the aisle and vote yes on it. 13 times Republicans have voted yes. We stay united. The reason we're staying firm is to balance the budget, which is, I think, the biggest problem this country faces. So it's we're stuck in this neutral right now. It's a tough place to be in.
I mean, you've tried 13 times, as John Thune said on the Senate floor the other night. 13 times the Democrats voted against it. We are now at day 31. We are actually seeing massive snarls in air traffic, and if people start canceling on the trips going into the busy holiday season, that is going to have a direct impact on the economy. What other choice do you have other than do the nuclear option, get rid of the filibuster, and reopen this government?
Well, Maria, the option is to keep negotiating and go through what we call regular order. Senator Susan Collins has, I think, 8 of the 12 buckets of funding for the government done. The Democrats need to come back to the table and negotiate with us once again. But I think they're starting to feel the pain. They're spinning on their heads like tops right now. I think that next week there's going to be a significant inflection point. They get these governors' races behind them. They can plant the flag. They were going to win them anyway, but they've got as President Trump said, they've got Trump derangement syndrome. They've got a gold card now for Trump derangement syndrome going on right now. This is a political shutdown. It's being run by the legacy media along with the far left part of the Democrat Party.
Well, that's another thing that you mentioned. I mean, the media, once again, the media is going along with the talking points and not holding anybody to account, except on that C-SPAN clip that we just showed. She did hold her to account, she tried to get out of the fact that they already voted for this same clean CR earlier in the fall. Look, all of this in the face of House Oversight Republicans urging the Department of Justice to probe former President Biden's auto pen use. After the report on the investigation, Committee Chairman James Comer told me that executive action signed via auto pen should be null and void. And I want to get your take on this because House Republicans now are calling for the impeachment of Judge James Boasberg after new FBI files reveal that former special counsel Jack Smith called AT&T, Verizon. He requested all the records and the communications of sitting lawmakers related to more than 430 individual and organizations who are Republican, all aimed at Republicans. I spoke with Jim Jordan, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, yesterday about the major telecom companies releasing the senator's phone records. Watch this. Is that normal protocol that a major telecom company is going to give up everybody's information on their phone, even if including a sitting senator?
Yeah, this is how the FBI operated, and they don't tell the person who's being targeted until after the fact, until months or years later. This is how pervasive it was, and again, it's why I think it's important we dig into all this. And frankly, I think it's important that when we find individuals who are part of this entire broader operation of weaponizing the government against your political foes, against your political, enemies, I think it's why we hold them accountable.
Now, we now know that AT&T ultimately declined to comply with the subpoena for Ted Cruz's phone records based on what AT&T said were protections provided through the speech and debate clause in Article 1 of the Constitution. However, Verizon gave up the information, we're told, by Chuck Grassley. Your reaction to this, Senator?
Well, Maria, well, shame on Verizon. But I think the Supreme Court has something to do with that they can do about this. Let's go back to Russia, and the FISA judges involved with that. Those people should be disciplined and kicked off the court as well. I think that the Supreme Court can be much stronger here and manage the courts and say, look, these people are not fit to serve. The judges involved with this need to be reprimanded along with the FBI, whoever was involved with it as well. I got faith that Kash Patel is going to discipline the people in the FBI. But the question is, how do we get at these judges? I think the Supreme Court has a role, and perhaps indeed Congress should do this as well. Let's impeach one of those judges and then set the standard, set the stage that'll be, so they don't do it in the future.
Well, I mean, how does a judge order a telecom company to give up the phone records of their political opponent? The lowest levels that they will go to actually take down the political enemies, it's just extraordinary to me. It really is. And I wonder, and by the way, there's also evidence here from Chuck Grassley that the judge told these companies, don't tell Senator Cruz that we're asking. Don't tell Bill Hagerty that we're asking, Marsha Blackburn, all of your colleagues. Were you also tracked?
Maria, we're still going through the list. I guess there's 179 members now. I was not one part of the original 8 or 9. But I know they were after another 179 as well. But, the Democrats invented lawfare. The FBI, once upon a time, the most respected law program in the world. And here we are today having this discussion. It just makes my stomach turn. Again, I think this was part of this Trump derangement syndrome, but let's go after the agents. Let's go after the judges that participated in this. And Verizon obviously has some questions to answer as well. It's probably time to impeach one of these judges.
Wow, incredible. We're going to be watching your work, Senator. Thanks very much for being here this morning. We will be watching this government shutdown. Real quick, what are the odds government opens next week, do you think, Senator?
Oh my gosh. Let's go 55%. 55%.
All right. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. Roger Marshall. We'll be right back.